last year, you and Heidi lost your home in the fires, and your parents lost their home, which was your childhood home. How are you and Heidi doing, and what has the past year been like for you guys?
You know, one thing I keep going back to is when you lose everything and you truly have nothing, your parents lost everything, you have to focus on what's important, which is your family, like my kids being healthy. You know, like my kids are alive, my wife's healthy, so I'm really on my person. That's my focus that keeps me going. And then what's this journey this year has been on are my neighbors, because they don't have the platform I had. So I really had to step up for all the senior citizens that come to me crying in the town that are, 80 years old, that lost everything. And I have these social media platforms that reach millions, and I need to be the person to tell their story. And a great quote right after the house burned down, the Entertainment Tonight host, he looked at me off camera and he said, "You have 2 weeks right now why people care about this tragedy, and then nobody will ever care again. So it is your responsibility for your community and the neighbor, the 12 people that burned alive, to not let people forget." And I also now, why, my journey's changed, is to really make sure there's change and that we can be honest with what happened and failures and the negligence, and do everything I can so nobody burns alive again, nobody loses, so I focus on. It was hard, obviously. It's been a, trauma. What I've learned from talking to other victims, it takes a year to truly process a major event of trauma. So I'm just at a year last, like a week and a half ago.
Well, you are doing, going to do so much, I think, for your community, because a few weeks ago, you announced that you're running to be the next mayor of Los Angeles. You're a registered Republican, but you've said this is not a partisan race and that there won't be a D or an R next to your name. You don't have political experience, but you want to make a change.
Yeah, absolutely. I never wanted, obviously, I would like to be back in my house, feeding hummingbirds, making silly Snapchats, taking my kids to school. I'm not a political person. If you go back, I was never posting about any politics for the last 20 years. I never was part of that. But when they burn your house down and you start looking at the people that I paid my taxes to and they failed at such a level, we need to be honest and have the truth and transparency. And if you keep lying on these things, nothing's going to change. So everything I believe in it's common sense. I'm not running on anything that my neighbors don't agree with. And when I say neighbors, all of Los Angeles.